Hey everybody, how you doing out there? Welcome to a new week starting tomorrow. Here's the video of the week. We are closing out week 2. Daniel Goleman. I've really enjoyed the threads I've been reading so far about the originator. He's mainstreamed emotional intelligence. And then Jessica Garza talking about prickly people. And it's tough sometimes to work with people that we don't just understand. How do we do that? How do we navigate the worlds? Now, I did post a couple EI examples for you. You have the emotional intelligence audit. You get to understand what I'm looking for from the EI examples. Let's jump in here for a second because next week assignment, due next Sunday, I don't have examples because this is a new assignment. I've never offered it before. It's one that I've heard from several students that they wanted. Also, it's become very prominent in communication, especially internationally. So I want the assignment to look like the EI assignment. I want to have a nice flair to it, a visual appeal to it, some creative thought, but also content. So if I show you the examples here, this is one example, emotional intelligence, and it was well done by a student. Now, your emotional intelligence assignment is a little bit more robust because I built out that assignment over the summer. But this is what I want it to look like. It might not look exactly apples to apples because there's more to your work, but I just want to give you a visual representation. And why I'm showing this to you right now is also you want the same kind of stimulus when you're doing your what we do not say assignment. Okay, so again, just think, what would I want to present in a lunch and learn session with a team if I'm facilitating a training? What would I like to show if my boss called me in and wanted to have a strategy conversation and I want to present this so he or she would be excited about the content? Or maybe what I'm presenting to a client, okay? So now jumping back out from here, that's tonight's assignment. You're closing out emotional intelligence. We're having that conversation. And then going into week 3, you have Julia Dar talking about constructive conversations. And most important, watch Julia's talk. She talked about the 3 pillars. It's a very interesting conversation about working with her dad. And I think you'll enjoy it. It builds on Jessica's prickly people conversation. And now how do we have those conversations? Okay? And I would be remiss in a communications class not to have at least one video by Simon Sinek. He has become a thought leader. A lot of people love him. Some people don't like him too much. But he talks about leadership skills, and this is the week of leadership. So I want you to watch some of his work, and it's a 7-minute video. Yeah, okay, 7. And what his is, it's a montage of some of his thoughts over the years. He's the guy that coined why, the circle of why we do business. If you've heard that before and didn't know who was the originator, it was Simon Sinek. And he needs to be in a class, at least recognized for the work he's done. And then as we go into the assignment for the week, we're still in the individual portion of the class. I form teams, but this is another individual assignment. Your task is to examine how nonverbal behaviors, 80% of communication is nonverbal, postures, eye contact, and tone influence the meaning and outcome of each interaction. So what you're going to do, observe contact. At the start of your paper, provide a brief explanation or description of the interactions you observe for each one. Include where and when the interaction occurred. You're going to do 2 for this paper. If it was professional or social, here's some ideas: a conversation between 2 colleagues, you and a friend, a presentation or speech such as a TED Talk. I'm a big fan of, if you like a TED Talk, now go back and watch it in the nonverbal communication. That's hard because they're walking the stage, but how much do they walk? What is their hand language? Or what is facial expressions? How do they get you to connect? A group discussion or a meeting, dinner, maybe casual event with friends. A nonverbal exchange such as greetings, silent disagreement, or a moment of tension. And the nonverbal cues to analyze, as you describe, what were the facial expressions, the posture, the eye contact. And then of the analysis for the paper, as you do the earlier stages, Write a 1 or 2 paragraph analysis, but not write. I want you to have a more visual representation addressing the following issues. How did the nonverbal cues affect a meeting? Were there any moments when nonverbal communication contradicted the spoken word? And what role did the nonverbal behavior play in shaping the relationship or outcome? So that's this week's work that we're coming into. And it's critical because it makes up so much of communication, but we don't talk about it because it's nonverbal. So that's the assignment. And then as we get into week 4, here we go. Picha Kucha, my favorite assignment. And then we embark into, I believe, after the portfolios, it's the team portion of the class. So let's look here, announcements. I did form teams. Here are the teams for this term. Please reach out to your colleagues. You want to assign a project manager to your team. That person's going to communicate with me most of the time of the efforts and contributions of the entire team. Make sure you read all those announcements I'm posting, because also another announcement I posted here is critical next steps. And project management election, when you submit an assignment, only 1 per team. So the project manager submits for you. And a bit of coaching, just move forward if people are not talking. Only move forward with people that are contributing. You can't wait to have somebody that slides in the last minute. My coaching usually is also, it's not here, is set up a early date for the first rough draft. Don't wait for the first rough draft on Saturday, because that becomes crushing if somebody didn't contribute or it's not the best work from the entire team. Okay, I think that's everything. And if you have any questions, reach out. If not, you'll see another video next week.